Hello, everybody. This is the High Command for XJE, and you see XJE lurking in the background there. We have a little bit of a technical difficulty that is going to prohibit us from starting our live stream right on time, but we're glad you're here on this rainy afternoon in Denver, Colorado, and we look forward to sharing our music with you. We'll be back as soon as the technical demons allow us to be. So hang in there and talk to you soon. Well, obviously all of our technical problems weren't resolved when I thought they were, but they are now. Anyway, welcome to the spring XJE concert. The title of this concert is XJE Does Hamlet, and the first piece what we're going to perform is an iterative improvisation on a cantus firmus by Dufay. This cantus firmus was a chanson that he wrote. It's called The Man with the Pale Face, and my French pronunciation is terrible, so I'll just leave it at The Man with the Pale Face. He then wrote a mass by the same name based on that song, and it was the first mass of 5 parts, I believe. Dufay was an early Renaissance composer, so this music is taken from and created from music that may have been around during the time period during which Shakespeare was writing about Hamlet. So give us just a moment and we'll perform in recording our work called Pale Face. Okay, thanks for listening to that. We had fun making that and doing those accompanying videos with effects that were obviously scenes from plague scenes and scenes from jesters, kind of our weird take on other things that might have been going on as it relates to Hamlet. The next piece we're going to perform for you is called Drops of Madness, and I'm going to replace myself with the composer, Justin Rogers, and Justin will tell you about the tune. So welcome, Justin Rogers.
This next piece that we're going to do is entitled Drops of Madness, as Lynn was saying. The material in this is based on controlling levels of dissonance through contrasting pitches and contrasting sounds. You will hear widely different pitch sets from each other's instruments, all driven forward by a sort of isorhythm or repeated rhythm that develops in each part as it moves along. For those of you familiar with Morse code, you will hear the phrases to be, not to be, and the word sins, all of which come from one of the more famous soliloquies in Hamlet, to be or not to be. So see if you can follow along if you're familiar with Morse code, but otherwise enjoy this setting of Drops of Madness.
Okay, thank you very much. That was Drops of Madness by Justin Rogers. The next piece we're going to do is based on another famous soliloquy from Hamlet, and it's a composition that I will be constructing called sound painting. The type of thing that we'll be doing is sound painting. Sound painting is an extemporaneous gestural language of composition, and you'll see me making gestures, and the players in XJE will be interpreting them. So, I wanted to take a moment to invite you all to the talkback session that we're going to be doing after the concert. After we finish playing, there'll be a page that comes up on the feed that will have a Zoom address where you can join us, and you can ask the composers various questions. We can have a little discussion about what you heard and saw during our concert today. So please feel free to join us for a talkback session directly after the concert. So let's begin sound painting on a theme from Hamlet.
Alas, for Yorick,
1,000
I knew him Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times,
those lips that
and
will be your lives now. Gambled a song you love, made him watch you set that day on a roar, not one now to mock your own quack 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 quack
Here.
Quack,
Not
quack,
help.
cha, quack,
It-
quack, cha, 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 quack,
Oh.
Here.
quack,
Not help.
cha,
Or-
In-
quack,
in-
cha, cha, quack, cha, quack,
Those
cha,
bo-
quack,
Up.
rim, rim. Here.
cha,
Here.
quack, quack, cha, quack,
Here.
cha,
Here.
quack,
Here.
Cha.
Here.
cha,
Here.
Quack. cha,
Here.
quack, cha, quack,
Here.
cha, quack, cha, quack, cha,
Here.
quack, cha, quack, cha, quack, cha,
Here.
Out.
quack, cha,
Oh.
quack, cha,
Yeah.
quack, cha,
Or
Cha.
Lord.
cha, quack, cha.
I knew him.
Alas,
Alas.
Horatio.
or Yorick,
Or
A fellow
your.
I knew him, Horatio.
I knew him.
A
Horatio.
fellow
yes.
of
Infinite
He had
jest,
of
of
most
most
excellent fancy.
He hath
He hath borne me
On
on his
on
back
his
a
back
thousand times.
thousands times.
And now,
Now,
how bored in my
bored in my
imagination
imagination
it
it
is.
is.
My
My
gorge
gorge
wins at it.
hung
Or hung those
Here
lips
hung
that I
those
had
lips.
kissed. I know not how.
Not
Here,
how
guys, now, your gambles, your
Your
songs, your
gambles,
flashes,
songs,
daring
your
that we're
flashes
wont to
of
sit the
that we're wont to
table
sit
in
the
a
table
roar.
in a roar.
Now to
Not
mock.
now to mock your own grinning. Quite check father. Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell
Get
her
you
let
to
her
my
put an
lady's
inch
chamber.
stick to this favor. She must come. Make her
Come.
laugh at that. Prithee,
Prithee.
Horatio, tell me one thing.
Tell me one thing.
Okay, thank you. Obviously, an existential issue. I'm going to change my background because I like the other one better than the inside of my office. There we go. Much more appropriate. The next and final piece on our program today is by Blake Foster Wagaman, and I'm going to pin them and let them introduce the work that started this whole extravaganza.
So, one of the worst. What? No. Gosh, sorry. Is that already one of the worst? One of the very first XJE pieces was a live scoring of a video game as people played it. And so as we went into quarantine and we weren't doing live concerts anymore, I started thinking about how we can still have kind of an interactive element and an extemporaneous, a unique combination of sounds every time somebody plays a video game without having people actually come and play it live. And so the idea for I Eat Air, another quote from Hamlet, was born. Each level you see me play through will have been scored completely by one of the composers here. The first level by Justin Rogers, the second level by me, the third level by Neil Edwards, and fourth by our very own Damien Underwood. And so, without further ado, here is our 16-bit style game, I Eat Air.
I think we're going to need to stop your screen share, Blake.
Yeah, we can't do anything you're saying on the mic when you talk.
There we go. Oh no. There. Well, Blake will be back in a moment, I'm sure. I'd like to introduce you to the players of the group. On saxophone and voice, we have Justin Rogers, and composer, there's Justin. On percussion and composition and voice, Neil Edwards. Wave to the people, Neil. All right. On percussion and voice and composition, although we didn't get to hear Damien's piece, Damien Underwood. Wave to the people. Good. Hopefully, Blake will be back on in a moment, but in the meanwhile, take a look at the personnel, and I'll be back in a moment. Well, Blake hasn't been able to rejoin us yet, but we want to thank you for attending the concert and inviting you to our talkback session. I'm going to put up the screen for the talkback. It'll have the talkback information on it in just a moment. And one last time, that was Blake Foster-Wagaman on electronic instruments, composition, and voice. Justin Rogers on saxophone, composition, and voice. Neil Edwards on percussion, composition, and voice. Damien Underwood on percussion, composition, and voice. And I give you a moment to get the Zoom information, and we'll see you here as soon as you can. Nice work, folks. That was fun. Not too many terrible glitches, I don't think. But the sound painting and Justin's piece went very well.
Yeah, some good moments for sure.
Yeah. And maybe tomorrow we can, in class, we can hear Damien's work on the I Eat Air piece. Maybe they can just fast forward and play that in class. Ooh, there's a kitty. right, we got 3/4 of it.
Yeah, but the end is so cool that I wanted people to see that.
Sure. Well,
I can show you now if you want.
let's do it in class tomorrow. I want to have one
Okay.
more. I want to have one more meeting, and then we'll be done for the year, and we can watch the end of the piece, the end of the game, that is, and view the concert, see how it went. We do that at classes at our regular time tomorrow, and then that will conclude our version of XJE. We'll wait a few more minutes for anyone who might want to drop in and join our talkback. My question to the composers in regards to talkback is to Justin. And it is, how did you think this way of coping with rhythmic discontinuity in Zoom, how did you feel about how the piece handled it?
I thought it handled it quite well, honestly. The sort of using the whole melding of sound as a byproduct of the individual lines allowed each person to sort of stay in time in their own way and allowed them to continue moving forward. The addition of using the scenes to signal each different portion of the piece or each different section was a nice way to keep everybody together. But I think that using the whole community of the piece, the melding of everything as a byproduct of the individual parts is really an effective way to handle things on Zoom. So that you can deal with things like latency and things like
anything that might
being
be
on
effective.
right, anything that comes up on there, because you're not dependent on listening to the other person necessarily, or dependent on, especially when you're looking at keeping your own internal tempo, and starting just generally sort of after what you hear or sort of mimicking what's before, allows you to not have to worry about things like latency or lag or audio glitches that you may hear or may go through.
Right. Blake, can you tell us a little bit about the piece that you wrote for your game?
Sure. So the way it started was on piano. And I was trying to think of like directly representational stuff. So the whole point of that level in my mind is the point right after the first tree where the hero like jumps down to the enemy, and there's that like little like black lump on the floor of like the water, and so it's kind of implying like, oh, there's something there. And so I was thinking like, what if I had a really low bass, like water up here, and then in the middle was something like kind of dissonant, like it wasn't supposed to be there, like I thought that would sound really nice with strings, so that's what I did.
Well, it was very effective. I liked it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else have questions for the composers here? Composition-oriented questions? Okay. Anybody have any performative/improvisatory oriented questions for each other?
I will just say that it's been an interesting sound painting experience by Zoom, just with people freezing here and there when we're relating to each other, with your arms getting stuck halfway up in the air as you're going to give a gesture.
Oh, because of your connection. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
It's been an experience with
Justin is joining us from about, how far away is it? About 40 miles away in the
something like
mountains?
that.
Right. We're still all bound by light, aren't we?
Yeah. At least for now, anyway.
Right. As St. Vincent would say, time and light I guess we're all afraid of what everyone is made of.
Yes.
All right. Well, if anyone has stuck around for this, we appreciate you. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you anyway. And keep attuned to XJE. I am retiring in about a week, but I hear rumors that XJE will live on in some form or fashion. So those of you who are on the XJE mailing list or have joined us as someone who's liked us on Facebook or any one of the other places we are, on Instagram, Twitter, etc., we'll continue to be somewhat active, and I'm sure pick it up again in the fall with a new person playing the role of the High Command. So bye-bye, and for the XJE folks, I will see you at our business meeting tomorrow. And these, again, are the people who brought you the concert today.